The new SMS V2 API features a REST architecture integration. To access all our endpoints, simply generate an API key and a token for authentication purposes. Every number is verified according to the standard and reflects the international E164 standard. With this feature, you can replicate the entire sending procedure, which includes verifying syntax and estimating costs, without the need to actually transmit.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the first webinar of 2026, which will discuss the SMS API. With me will be Francesco, our developer, who will then give us a tour of the console and show us lots of great things. Before we delve into the subject matter for today, we will conduct a brief recap. This is customary, covering the recently launched services and those currently under development. To the new services we recently released, we have three categories of identity checks available: the start level, the advanced level, and the expert level. Property title reports and map extracts were transferred from this engine to the official cadastral API. The availability of the service decreases from 930 to 690. Decide whether you want a synthetic or analytic land registry report when requesting it. This indicates improved pricing for mapping endpoint rates compared to what was available previously. The Invoice API, which allows us to efficiently and automatically oversee the entire process of handling Italian tax documents throughout their life cycle. Integrated with SDI and the Revenue Agency. Company monitoring, therefore, by utilizing a dedicated endpoint, we are able to obtain comprehensive details regarding all the latest updates concerning the company's service that interests us. We have integrated new products into our MCP, including DocuEngine products, automotive and trust, risk and chamber reports. In the 2025 webinar, we talked about simple electronic signatures with OTP. Furthermore, we have launched the Phone Advanced API, which, thanks to a single phone call, enables the comprehensive control and verification of the validity of both fixed and cellular phone numbers. On a global scale, today's discussion will cover SMS worldwide across different countries. In our continuous project, we collaborate with the global search company to monitor and track negative aspects, ensuring we are promptly informed of any developments via phone communication. Another level of identity verification, which is the certified. A new development in the fintech sector involves two services, ISP and PISP. ISP enables automatic reading of balances, of real-time movements and events across multiple bank accounts, while the PISP allows payments to be made to the suppliers and managing collections from bank accounts directly via API. Finally, concerning our AI domain, we offer access to several large language models through one unified API. Let's now address our topic for today, which is the SMS API we will be discussing. The difference between an SMS API and an SMS platform, differences and advantages of both cases. The differences between the first version of Openapi and the brand new version 2. There is the possibility to send an OTP using SMS, and also the two-way SMS feature, which is scheduled for release in the coming days, which will provide the option to the recipient to reply, increase control over lengthy messages, is steering clear of stringing them together. Real-time delivery reports. Send SMS worldwide or per single country, and how to choose the most suitable solution. The technical integration of the API with various company systems and the main uses of SMS. What is our API and how does it work? With our API, we can send transactional and marketing SMS. We can reach customers in real time without a data connection because, as you know well, SMS does not require a connection and it results in a high rate of SMS must be read. Email might be ignored. It is must that this must be carefully read, unlike an email or newsletter, which may be overlooked and deleted without being read. We have options to personalize the sender. We can send SMS messages both to national numbers, that is in Italy, and globally. We can notice and monitor the delivery status of the messages. And furthermore, we can also monitor the length of the messages and therefore avoid concatenation and thus send, instead of one message, two messages. What's the difference between the new and old version? Initially, 3 significant new updates have been introduced. Options, namely the dry run, which allows validating the request and estimating the price without sending the text message. The second one is the fail on multiple messages feature that permits checking if the message length exceeds that of a single SMS, thus preventing the sending of concatenated messages. So, for instance, if we need to send hundreds of text messages, if our text message exceeds and therefore counts as 2 text messages instead of sending 1, we have a higher cost for a single communication. Delivery is instant, and there are very advantageous subscriptions with great prices for Italy and Spain. The option that we are currently releasing these days is, as we previously mentioned, the two-way SMS feature, which allows the recipient to send a reply back. For instance, the confirmation of a medical appointment or even accepting to receive an updated price list for 2026. And then something very important, also the personalized sender address. What is the difference between an SMS API and an SMS sent via a platform? The SMS API operates on a technical level, dispatching messages automatically based on events or application processes, like when a login process is initiated, a payment, a status change, an order, being in a constant state of alert, as opposed to the platform which operates more passively, with SMS being handled by a human rather than automated processes. So we can say that the SMS API is ideal, as we said, for application flows, international SMS OTPs, or automatic notifications and campaigns, while the SMS software is useful for manual sends and occasional campaigns. We should now examine the benefits associated with either one. The SMS API offers comprehensive automation capabilities along with significant scalability. Even with large volumes, it can be integrated into company workflows. We can maintain better cost control by having a clear understanding of our expenses up front, ensuring oversight of content and retaining control throughout the process. Real-time updated reports. It is perfect for navigating through apps, receiving transactional SMS messages, and verifying identity with OTP codes. Certainly, to accomplish an API integration successfully, technical expertise is necessary. Regarding the platform, it is presently accessible. It has no required technical integration, but has higher costs, especially for sending bulk SMS. It is poorly suited for large volumes and is not ideal for transactional and automated SMS. Use cases for sending SMS messages. They are ideal for sending OTP codes, two-factor authentication, or real-time alerts and notifications. Confirming orders, payments, appointments, SMS campaigns, and two-way SMS marketing to create this interaction with our users. Onboarding and activation flows on platforms, SIM activation or usage alerts, notifications, or even the resetting of credentials for a restricted area, and naturally reminders for appointments or alerts concerning reports that are prepared for download. Why should one select the SMS API from Openapi? Because with a single API, we can send both national SMS in Italy, in this case, or worldwide. We have real-time sending reports, sending and delivery reports in real time on a high delivery rate because, as mentioned before, it's not internet connection necessary, and the delivery process is both rapid and dependable. The documentation in our console is available in 4 languages, along with the option to receive support. Highly beneficial subscription options are available for Italy and Spain, whereas the worldwide service operates on a usage-based model. On our site, you will find a link with the full cost table broken down by continent and country. It's in compliance with GDPR and there are no annual fees for usage. Should we dispatch in SMS globally to Spanish or Italian numbers in the situation where an active subscription is in place for these 2 countries? The transmission is not tallied, but the credit balance is drawn down from the subscription plan, the subscription call. You can meet us in 2026. We will participate in numerous events, a bit like our APIs. We will be all over the world. The event will be in April in Japan, then we return to Italy for the PHP Day in Verona, and then move on to June. After that, we are departing for Europe to attend the We Are Developers event in Berlin in July. The CodeMotion, it's almost a tradition now to attend CodeMotion in Milan in October. We still don't know the official date to end the year at the Web Summit in Lisbon from the 9th to the 12th of November. And at all these events, we will have a stand where feel free to stop by and discuss our APIs. We can provide you with more details and information. I remind everyone, if you missed our webinar, don't worry, you can still access it if you connected late. As soon as it finishes, on our YouTube channel. And now I can hand over to Francesco, who will demonstrate for us in detail all of our APIs from the console.
Thanks, Matteo, for the introduction. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Francesco, a developer at Openapi. Today, let's discover the new SMS V2 API together and explore its capabilities. I'll share the screen for a moment.
Perfect. Apologies, Francesco. I momentarily overlooked the fact that there will be the typical Q&A session at the conclusion of your explanation. Feel free to ask any questions you may have.
We will proceed by utilizing our preferred application, meaning the console. To begin, we will analyze the fundamental architecture. The new SMS V2 API features a REST architecture integration. To access all our endpoints, simply generate an API key and a token for authentication purposes. When we discuss a scalable solution for mass and transactional dispatches, we are referring to a framework able to moving from managing a single SMS, like for instance a system notification message, to campaigns of thousands of sends without bottlenecks. Our gateway executes a thorough validation process on incoming information, on the message body or on senders and recipients. Every number is verified according to the standard and reflects the international E164 standard. One crucial technical element involves managing encoding effectively. Thus, our system automatically recognizes whether the text being utilized employs a GSM character set type, thus allowing up to 160 characters per message for SMS. If emojis or special characters are included, the switch to UCS encoding may be necessary. This text contains 83 characters. In this case, the single message segment is limited to 70 characters. The API automates the full segmentation of long messages, eliminating the need for manual string splitting in your code. This feature ensures a seamless process for message division, saving you time and effort. We will now proceed to the Swagger documentation to examine our available endpoints. For dispatching messages on a global scale, we utilize our endpoint www.messages for a worldwide global send. The worldwide solution is a universal type solution. Therefore, it is aimed at entities managing a global user base. From an economic perspective, this endpoint possesses a unique characteristic. The cost is not static, as Matteo previously detailed. However, the cost is determined and applied flexibly once the message is dispatched. This guarantees offering the most competitive market rate when compared to the operator at the receiving end. Technically speaking, in order to invoke, or rather to access this service, one must maintain a minimum balance within their digital wallet, meaning their purse, equivalent to €1 for each anticipated segment, a field detailed later under message count. All the technical specifications are available within the documentation. We must pay close attention to compliance, that is, conformity with the specified regulations, standards required for messages, whether legal or technical. The reason for this is that our filters monitor the content instantaneously. Therefore, if prohibited content is submitted through this specific endpoint, the system will apply a penalty of €1 per segment, and the account will subsequently be placed on a block list. Now we proceed to the endpoint designated as it messages is. With these endpoints, we are now examining the regional specifics. The logic here is optimized to achieve the highest possible speed for local delivery, utilizing fixed and naturally reduced rates. When you are in the development phase, keep in mind that these specific endpoints impose restrictions. Thus, if you attempt to send an SMS to a number, for instance, a Spanish number, using the IT endpoint, you will get a specific validation error message stating that the intended recipient is not associated with the supported country. Regarding the situation at hand, sender, that is the sender field. You can use an alphanumeric alias from 3 to 11 characters, spaces included, but the system will automatically reject purely numeric senders. This is to prevent spoofing practices that do not comply with the service. The handling is identical for the ES endpoint. Consequently, it only accepts messages directed towards a single recipient. In this scenario, the same validations as the previous endpoint, it messages, must be applied to the Spanish language as well. The associated costs are relative to the specific endpoint. Therefore, the IT endpoint will carry the costs designated for Italy, specifically for Italy, S for Spain, obviously. Next, for the identity verification endpoint, we discuss OTP. The OTP endpoint is one of the most appreciated features for managing security and logins. It is not a simple SMS delivery, but a microservice for code generation. Therefore, the system automatically generates a secure code and embeds it into a text template, which is then translated into the language of the recipient for added security measures, their phone prefix. Consequently, when we dispatch this message toward a particular nation, the message will undergo automatic translation to accurately reflect the language spoken in the country of reception. It is possible for you to personalize the OTP experience by changing the code length, In this case, we will have a minimum length of 4 characters, a default of 5, and a code creation length of 10. With the alphanumeric option, a code can be created which is not only numerical but also contains some non-numeric characters included. Letters, making it an alphanumeric code. By utilizing the cache seconds option, we are able to, if a user requests a new code within the established time frame, which is a maximum of 10 minutes, the previous code, rather than generating a brand new one, this measure is in place to prevent the generation of distinct codes at excessively short time intervals. This is a default setting configured to 0. Within this particular endpoint, which still concerns OTP, the messages on the recipient's phone are always displayed with the sender's name set as OTP mobile, which is the default and unchangeable setting. Meaning anyone who receives the OTP originating from this endpoint will see it coming from this specific sender. We will now cover retrieval and monitoring, which involves our GET requests. Since the API operates asynchronously, after the request is received, you will be able to check the status of the message. Using GET messages, you gain access to the paginated list containing all submissions linked to your account, and you can employ skip or limit to navigate your records. By consulting the individual ID, that is, messages by specifying the ID of your specific submission, you will be able to access granular and detailed data, such as final price, the exact number of segments sent, and the delivery timestamp. A crucial point relates to timeout handling. Messages possess a maximum lifespan of 48 hours. This means that if the recipient's phone is turned off or not currently reachable, the message will not be delivered. The system will continue to attempt delivery of that same message within a 48-hour period. If during this phase the message remains continuously in a pending state, if the delivery attempts should fail, systematically within this specified time frame, the message status will transition from pending to expired, resulting in the message being deleted. So we have 48 hours for delivery. We will now conclude with the advanced tools available for developers, which include our callback system, or webhook, which is crucial for receiving notifications regarding status changes. You have the flexibility to set up the API for automatic updates whenever there is a change in the message status. We support the JSON format, specifically both the standard JSON format and the post standard. Additionally, if your receiving endpoint happens to be temporarily offline, you can configure up to 5 attempts to send the notification using the retry option. Lastly, for integration testing purposes, you can always utilize the dry run option and set the flag to true. With this feature, you can replicate the entire sending procedure, which includes verifying syntax and estimating costs, without the need to actually transmit the message. This method offers the best assurance that your code is prepared for a production environment. With that covered, I will now transition to the more practical section using our dedicated playground. We have a specific playground environment where we can simulate the sending and utilization of our services, gaining a visual representation of what your response to the service itself will look like. Here, we can perform a test for the worldwide endpoint. I will proceed to input a number. Let's attempt a couple of options. Spanish. I am using the user as the default setting, so I will not specify it. Let's proceed to test Spain. For example, I am opting for the dry run feature to verify if my message is validated accurately or encounters any validation issues. This is crucial for ensuring the correctness of my communication, and I will send it. Everything is perfect. The message has been validated correctly in this case. We will receive the country code as a response. Therefore, it will indicate to which country the communication was directed. The body of the message itself, the encoding type, the total count of characters, the message body, details on whether the message was split into several parts or remains a single one in this instance, and the associated costs. So we have the single price and the total price, obviously followed by the timestamp of sending and creation. We are able to perform another test. I am currently attempting to send from our TT endpoint, still directed towards a Spanish number. So this is going to, I can try to send. We will encounter an error here as previously mentioned in our discussion. This is because I am attempting to send using our Italy-specific endpoint to a number that is not Italian. So the API will automatically block us to prevent exactly these situations. Imagine a mass sending where one does not have full control over all the numbers. By utilizing our specific endpoint, the sending scope can be restricted solely to the target nations. We will now proceed to retrieve the SMS messages, which involves pagination across all SMSs created and sent from our account. Here, by checking our retrieval playground, we will see a full pagination of all the messages we have sent in tabular format. Should I require specifics for a particular transmission, I can just click on Show Details to access the message's granularity and associated details related. So I will have the message body and all the parameters necessary to retrieve the message itself, but specifically for that instance. We can look at another example. This is an OTP transmission. Obviously, in the same panel, you will have both messages sent as OTP and those sent as a normal message from the other endpoints. In this case, I will have an OTP mobile as sender, and this will be the text of my OTP. What the recipient will actually receive on their phone can be expected. Let's attempt sending an OTP now and see if it works. So in this case, I intend to send to a number in Albania. Let's try a number in Albania, an OTP code. I can set them as default. We have a length of 5 characters of 5 numbers. I can set it up to 10. Let's set 7. I prefer making it alphanumeric. As always, we should do a dry run to ensure everything works correctly. Let's go ahead with our test to double check. Excellent. This is the response for our OTP transmission. We will have the field, the actual OTP code that was sent. The sender, as stated, will be OTP mobile, along with the international prefix and country code. In this instance, based on the number and its validation, an Albanian recipient number has been identified in this scenario. And the message is automatically translated based on the destination country. In this case, for Albania, it is generically translated into English. If, for example, I were to send it to Spain, so I go to create an OTP code for a Spanish number. We can change it purely numeric. Excellent. The verification code has been generated as purely numerical and the message has been translated according to the destination country. This here is the complete process that reflects all the functionalities of our new SMS V2 API. Naturally, for any additional specifications and for technical inquiries, please consult our official documentation for more information. All right, back to Matteo.
We are here. You can now begin with the questions. We have already addressed a couple of people during your presentation. Okay. Let me see these questions appear. Meanwhile, the encoding types utilized by our SMS messages are two. GSM7, which supports up to 160 characters, and UCS2, which can handle up to 70 characters and is employed when emojis or special characters are present. Francesco, please see if there are any questions that you are able to respond to.
Let's start with the ones that are less recent.
Alberto asked one. Do you want to answer?
When it comes to sending SMS in Italy, how does sender registration with AGCOM work? It's something we take care of. We ensure full management. Hence, all senders, referring to all creators, are enlisted on our platform, guaranteeing security and transparency. Obviously, for every sender, there is a strict validation, and we filter everything in advance. We directly filter what AGCOM subsequently receives. It's all automated, basically. Is it feasible to utilize this API for sending SMS messages on behalf of other parties? I am checking with Antonio to clarify this detail that may have been overlooked earlier. For instance, if we wish to send SMS on behalf of our clients, where the final customer is the recipient. Affirmative. You just need to set any sender that obviously complies with the rules and our validations, and you are then able to send it to any recipient, essentially. There are no limitations in this area for you to be concerned about.
There's another question regarding alphanumeric OTPs. Are the characters 0 and the letter O removed? That's an excellent question.
Great question. Yes, all confusing characters, such as a lowercase l, the number 1, or the number 0. Everything confusing has been intentionally omitted. The OTP code is easily readable by anyone, ensuring accessibility for all.
Yes, capital I and lowercase l too.
Could the translation possibly lead to exceeding the character limit? Not likely, as there are measures in place to prevent this. Through the dedicated OTP endpoint, there is this control in place, but the message is so brief that it cannot surpass the permitted character count. We are talking anyway about a GSM send that would handle 160 characters, so we are amply within the limit. Okay. Let's check other questions. Let's see if I missed any questions. Okay, to reiterate, the documentation within the console is very comprehensive from this perspective, so you can consult it whenever you wish and find all the relevant answers. So Martino asks us, are the SMS API version 1 being deprecated? Do old SMS and real-time connections still exist? They will be deprecated, but not immediately.
December 2026.
Let's check for other questions.
Just a friendly reminder, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us in the next few days. Your inquiries are always welcome, and our sales department will certainly get back in touch with you to obtain. In case you overlooked anything or require additional information, please let us know to obtain further details. I think that we can finish up. Yes, I think it is appropriate that we conclude our webinar at this point. I want to thank every single one of you. I wish you all a pleasant afternoon, and we look forward to seeing you at our next event. Let's thank Francesco for providing such interesting explanations. Incredibly interesting. Sorry, there is one last question just as we are finishing up. Alberto.
He's got us cornered. Regarding the reseller mode specifically, is it possible for me to personalize the sender ID for every individual client? Yes. For an SMS submission for the WWIT and ES endpoints, you can specify the sender for each message. Therefore, yes, customization is available for each recipient.
Okay, let's wait 30 seconds in case there are more questions. So we'll finish here. Thanks, Francesco, and thanks, everyone. Have a good afternoon. See you at the next webinar. Bye.
Good afternoon.